Welcome, everyone. And first of all, we really want to thank you for all the actions of support you were giving us during the last 3 months. We are talking about the petitions. We are talking about the Zooms you still give in Africa and Asia to explain in which situation we are now. And we also thank you for the lot of participations um, uh, for the lawyer also. So, but we think it's also the right moment to present to you the people who are still working now and trying to find solutions. Before the lawyer will start to explain his actions and how we intend to continue, I first want to take you back on the 22nd of June. And yes, we were all suddenly breaking up by a press article. We had immediately to search for a good lawyer. And it's via Stan Reimer and Philippe Cassis that we were introduced to Hans van der Waal. Why Hans van der Waal? Because already knows this business and had already some very good, successful cases. So, you know, every lawyer has his specialty, and this is why we went to Hans van der Waal with our case. Afterwards, he will explain also how we will work with our case, which one is different of the other cases. Then we also felt the need to create a website to get to get informed and to all members about the legal steps, about the updates, about only facts that we could put on the website. And here, 6 people are working every day for the websites. I'm talking about Theo van der Zande. He's the host of the website and immediately took all responsibility. Lars Arnold, he's creating the website and also giving the technical solutions. Eric Breland, he's a journalist and he's writing the text. And Louise Dutremont, she's always making the translations. Jan Poff, who was there right from the beginning of Vitae, knows very well also Vitae and always is there to add some more details that we need to know also. And then myself, I generally make the coordinations between all those people. And all people are Belgian people, except Lars, because the legal case is in Belgium and we could react the quickest. We also have the knowledge of the Belgian legal system, or a little bit more than everyone else. And a part of this individual support you already gave, some team leaders, we want to put them in the pictures. Inger Stephenson, who launched immediately the petitions to which you responded massively. Prashant Rao, this is the most enthusiastic and committed man since we start with Vitae. He really created groups all over the world. I'm talking about Haridas and Joseph, about Sumi Gita and Priti, but also about Tony Bui. He is now the most important man of Vietnam for Vitae. And also we have some very important person in Africa, in Ghana more especially, and it's Mr. Abdullahi. Thank you all for all the work you already did, because you really put Vitae on the map of the world. And this was also your work to encourage the people to sign petitions and make a financial contribution to our lawyer. We can't thank you enough. And then there are a lot of other great leaders. And we are talking about Danny, who is working in Switzerland. We are talking about Lucy Carina, Tiffaine, and Denia, who are working in France and also in the French overseas territories. And we are talking also about Frauke Christina Susanna, who also created in Germany the Academy of the Social Media, and many, many more in Europe, in the USA, in Canada. Vitae is over in more than 100 countries. This is very important to know. We are so grateful you still are there, and we have really no words to thank you enough for all your different kinds of supports you give. And I thank you also in behalf of Mandy and Schaake, Guy, Kobe, and Ringo, and also the 12 other people who were investigated by the Belgian court. Now I give the word to our lawyer, lawyer Hans van der Waal.
Thank you, Karin, for the introduction. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. If there's anything, please interrupt me. What I will do today, and unfortunately, it's not possible to talk with each and every one of you because there's so many of you. It will be me doing the talking and you doing the listening. And I hope after our call, some things may have been clarified. If there are questions, and unfortunately, we can't just say, save your questions until after the meeting, because if everyone starts to ask questions, I think this will be a marathon meeting. So my suggestion is that if there are questions during or after this meeting, those are sent to the email addresses that are known, in order to, well, make a list of all questions and questions that come back and are repeated over and over again. I can just answer them once, and that information will be shared through the website afterwards. Reason to do so is actually having a large number of participants for the legal actions that we're planning to undertake in Belgium. It's very positive for our case, but it also creates some difficulties from an organizational standpoint. Communicating with each and every client individually is just impossible, which is what we usually do as lawyers. We communicate with our clients, we email with them, we call with them, and so on and so on. That's impossible because you may know that over 18,000 people have listed to become a plaintiff in the cases that we're starting. So communicating with 18,000 people individually, even 24 hours a day would not suffice to do so. So we chose to give information, and it's from time to time. It's not on a daily basis. We give information on what we plan to do, the strategy. We give information on what we have done, and we report on the pending proceedings. That's the only thing we can do for now. If there are specific questions, we can try to answer them, but not on a daily basis, because otherwise that would be, well, I think counterproductive for the proceedings. Where we stand right now is, well, we started back in July when I was first contacted because I indeed have some experience in Ponzi fraud related cases. And the scope of the proceedings that we're taking now, I'm actually representing people who are no suspect in the investigation, nor are they victims. And I will explain myself a bit further. Victims in Belgium, we have two possibilities. Either you are a victim who is listed in an investigation. You have to fill out some paperwork to do so, and you are recognized by the investigating judge as a civil party. That's an official victim being a member, a party to the criminal investigation. It gives you an official capacity as a party to the investigation. Right now, all of you are somewhere in between. In the media, in the press releases about this case, you are being reported as victims. They say that you have suffered damages because of the wrongdoing by certain people that have been arrested and detained, the suspects. Fine. So I was explaining, right now, you are mentioned as a victim in press releases, but you have no official capacity in the ongoing investigation. From my first contacts, it appears that a large number of people believes they have not been a victim of any crime committed whatsoever by the people that were incarcerated at the beginning of the investigation, but that they feel as if they are the victim of, let's say, the Belgian state or the Belgian system or the Belgian investigation as such. Because at some point in June, It was decided, and we have no 100% certainty yet who did it, but it was decided that the access to the platform of Vitae would be denied to each and every member. Not only the suspects, but everyone being a member to Vitae would see their access denied to the platform. That was a decision that was made. I was contacted in July, and the first thing I had to do was, well, this is a Ponzi investigation, Ponzi fraud system, an alleged Ponzi fraud system. I have experience with it. And my experience with Ponzi fraud is, it is a reality, it happens, but from time to time, and I can tell from personal experience, an investigation could believe that there is a Ponzi fraud, whereas actually nothing happened or no crime was committed. And that's something I can report on because I've had acquittals from suspects that were under investigation that have seen their assets frozen. And at the end of the day, there was a total acquittal by the Belgian criminal court. So it's not a case of the prosecution or the investigation saying someone is a suspect. Oh, this means he is guilty. No, reality is there's a perfect good possibility that that person is innocent. And being contacted by a large number of people saying, no, we think this is a very honest system, nothing happened. It triggered me into investigating the case, but it's a first line investigation. I will explain myself. I have no access to the criminal case file, the investigation file. Right now, I have no access to it. You may wonder why. That's strictly Belgian legislation. A criminal investigation in Belgium, led by either a prosecutor or by an investigating judge, is confidential. That means if tomorrow I'm the suspect in a criminal investigation, I don't automatically get access to the case file. If I'm a suspect receiving an invitation, please come to the police station, we want to ask you some questions, I don't get access. I can apply for access to the case file, and it can be denied to me. The judge can easily say, no, first we want to ask you questions, and only afterwards I may give you access to the case file, or I still deny it. That's perfectly possible. The reason this system exists in Belgium is to protect the investigation. If suspects always get access to the case file from the first day they are questioned, that could lead to a situation where people use this information to inform others, other suspects that have not been questioned yet, inform other suspects about the threat of being arrested or the threat of having a house search or having assets frozen. In order to protect the investigation is confidential. Exceptions are possible. For example, if tomorrow I'm a suspect and I'm detained, they keep me in pre-trial detention. It's possible in Belgium if there are certain conditions met. You can be locked up during the investigation. Of course, this can only be done by a judge. And you have, from time to time, you have a court hearing to decide, is it still appropriate to keep this person in prison? They extend it month by month, and after a few months, it's 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. In order to defend yourself at such a court hearing, you get access to the case file 24 hours before the hearing for the first time. The next hearings, it's 48 hours that you can access the case file, you and your lawyer, of course. So those people automatically will get access to the case file because they're detained, and it would be a bit absurd to detain people without giving them any information. Those people get access to the case file. Other parties, such as suspects that are not detained or civil parties, remember, the official victims that have been listed as a victim after filling out some paperwork in front of the judge, those people can apply for access, but that access can be denied by the judge if he thinks it's better for the investigation. That's why a few minutes ago I said I have investigated our file, I mean your file, our file, but I have limited information because I don't have access to the case file yet. As far as I know, is there a Ponzi fraud? I don't know. I haven't seen evidence, compelling evidence that there is a Ponzi fraud. I haven't seen compelling evidence that there isn't. But for now, I stick by the rule, the presumption of innocence. Everybody, every suspect is innocent until proven otherwise. So that means as long as no one has been convicted, for me, they are innocent. If I get the full case file, I could maybe have a different opinion and say they are innocent, but my opinion as a lawyer is that there is a big chance that they will be convicted at the end of the trial. For now, I have no reason to say that they are guilty. Not a single reason. Only the press releases saying that there is a big fraud system installed. We'll see. We'll see what happens. For now, that's not even my biggest concern. Those people can be innocent or they can be guilty. It's all fine for me. Your interest is at stake. I see over 18,000 people turning towards me saying, my access to a platform has been denied. My access to my financial means have been denied. And I'm not even a suspect. I'm just a member of Vitae. How on earth is it possible that my property is taken from me, at least the access to my property is taken from me, and I didn't do anything wrong? I'm just a member. This morning, during the Zoom meeting in Dutch, I gave some examples. I will do so in this Zoom meeting as well. If tomorrow I have a car, the Belgian state cannot take away my car just for no reason. They can't say, well, we need it now, just surrender your car or your house or we will freeze your bank accounts for no reason. It's only possible within a legal framework. One of the biggest exceptions to the property rights every Belgian citizen has is a criminal investigation. If a judge is investigating a case, he can decide to freeze assets. It can be movable assets, such as a car, it can be a mobile phone or a computer, if they think we have to investigate what's in it, because maybe some illegal communication was done with that phone or that computer. It can be a house, it can be bank accounts. If tomorrow I'm the suspect of a $1 million fraud, they will freeze my bank accounts to make sure that I don't flee to a very country far, far away with all my money and will be there and they will not be able to compensate the victims. For example, if tomorrow my car is used at a bank robbery, it's possible that my car will be frozen as well, that they will put it under attachment and I don't get it back. And unless I can prove that I rented it out, I was not involved with the robbery, normally I should get it back. In your case, it's a similar thing. Other people are under investigation, being a suspect, being detained, being put in prison, and you are the ones targeted by, well, the interdiction or the blocking of the platform, the access being denied by probably 99% sure a decision by the Belgian judge. We don't know that for sure. It's just my best guess, because there is a pending investigation and the investigating judge has the right to take certain measures during an investigation. So my guess is that the investigating judge has frozen the platform, has denied access to each and every member to that platform, but it's possible that it was the Belgian state as well. I don't know. That's why the first step in the legal actions that we prepared was sending a note to the investigating judge, Mr. Van Lindhout. We sent him a letter and we politely said, we are representing 18,000 people, and those 18,000 people would like to get access to the platform again, because your measure, what you have done, denying those people access, is disproportionate, and it's hurting the wrong people, because you're after certain suspects, and those people are not a suspect. You say that they are victims, and you're hurting them even more by denying the access. This letter was sent a few weeks ago, and we haven't received a response yet. So either the workload for the judge is too big, it's possible, or he's not taking us seriously, it's possible, I don't know. But if I were the judge, I would immediately start explaining myself and say, okay, thank you for your letter, and the reason I deny access to the platform is because this is an illegal business and I want to protect those people from losing more money. That could be an explanation. For now, I have to guess why it's still blocked, and I have to guess why he's not responding to my letter. For me, that's fine. You can ignore me all you want. I don't care. It will only make sure we take the next step. And they will have more explaining to do when we take that step, because they bluntly deny a letter that was a few pages, and they just didn't respond. It's not polite and it's not correct being a judge, being approached by someone representing 18,000 people and just ignore them. To me, that's not correct. Fine. Second action that has been taken is a letter to the Belgian state itself. So the Belgian government, I hold them responsible for all the damages that you are suffering because your access to the platform is denied. They could easily say, well, this was a decision by a Belgian judge. And in Belgium, you have the separation of powers. The judiciary is totally independent from the government. If they take decisions, it's at their sole discretion, and they have to have the freedom to take decisions in good faith, saying this is the right decision in an investigation, or when I'm in court, I'm the judge in a trial, I take a decision in favor of one party against the other. They should have all the freedom to do so. But, and that's a very important one, our Supreme Court in Belgium has decided ages ago, I think it was 1991 for the first time, that the Belgian government can be responsible and liable for all damages suffered if a judge makes a clear error. A clear error. And of course, just a decision is not a clear error. But in this case, my opinion is he possibly made such an error. It's perfectly possible, because he took a or a decision with serious consequences, denying access to a lot of people to their platform, to their assets that are related to the platform. And it's not even justified. If my accounts are frozen in a criminal investigation because I'm a suspect, at least I get a notification, and they say your accounts have been blocked. None of you has ever received a notification, an explanation, nothing. You just saw that you couldn't access anymore. So that's a very, very big decision with big consequences without an explanation. And the main question in the next proceedings to follow is, can it be justified? Can the judge justify such a drastic decision against people that are not related to the investigation as a suspect? It remains to be seen, but I doubt it, and I'm actually convinced that there is no good explanation. Otherwise, they could have easily given it to me a few weeks ago. This is why, after the judge, I sent a notice to the Belgian state as well, saying you are liable for all the damages that we have suffered. First of all, start with opening the platform again. Secondly, confirm that you will compensate all the damages. First point, maybe they would do it. Second point, they will never do so. Belgian state doesn't give out any damages unless they are summoned in court and they are obliged to pay by a court. So that could be the next step. For now, we have two actions that will be taken in the next 2 weeks. A formal request to the judge because he didn't respond to our letter. We gave him plenty of time to respond to it. He didn't use it. Okay, fine. We deposit a formal request. The reason to deposit such request is he has a legal possibility to respond to such a request, and it's a 15-day span that he has. So if I deposit tomorrow, within 15 days, he has to respond. If he doesn't respond, it's being considered a refusal of our request. So we shouldn't get our hopes up. The platform will not be opened if he doesn't respond. But not responding is a refusal and opens the door to appeal proceedings before the Chamber of Accusations. So that's what we plan to do. We force the judge into taking a position. Either he grants our request, fine, case closed, we get access to the platform. Well, case not fully closed because we still want compensation for our damages. But if it's opened, fine. If he doesn't respond or he responds with a refusal, we have an open door towards the Chamber of Accusations, that's at the Court of Appeals level. And we have an open debate with the prosecutor, with the Court of Appeals, and ourselves being present in the courtroom, saying we want this platform to be reopened. And they will have to give some reason to deny our request. Because the law says it, if you are hurt, if you are suffering from a measure taken by the judge in relation to your assets, you can file a request and ask for it to be withdrawn, that measure. If they refuse to withdraw it, they have to give a good reason. So that's what we will find out if we start these appeal proceedings. Secondly, and we will not wait for the outcome of the request proceedings and the appeal against the possible denial of that request. Second thing we will do is summon the Belgian state, the Belgian government, only to increase the pressure and to show that we mean business. We can't wait until the outcome of the criminal investigation and maybe the trial against the suspects, because that could take months and even years before we have a final outcome. If we wait for, let's say, 2 years and then at a certain day it's decided that they are all acquitted and it was not a Ponzi scheme, not a Ponzi scheme, starting against the Belgian state at that moment would be too late. We have to make them aware of our notice that the judge made a mistake right here, right now. We are convinced that what he did towards us, firstly, it's not even important whether those people are innocent, because you have nothing to do with their case. You were just a member. So it's unimportant whether they are innocent. It's important whether this decision, this measure, was taken and it was proportionate. If not, he made a mistake and we ask for compensation right now. And we start the proceedings with two aims. First aim is get the platform reopened to make sure our damages stop adding up, stop increasing, because with each day you don't get access, our damages are increasing. And the second aim is compensation for our damages. How much it is, can't say yet. We have to calculate, but it will be a certain figure per person for all the days that you haven't received access, for the loss of value of the coin behind Vitae. So that's also important. We can easily demonstrate how much it was at a certain point and how much it is right now. That's a very clear loss of value. Maybe after they open the platform again, it will start rising again. We don't know. But we will determine that at the right point when we are in court, we can determine how much the damages are when it comes to the value of the coin. And those are the actions that are about to be taken. It's in the course of the next few weeks that everything will be started. July and August was the judicial holiday in Belgium, meaning the courts were, well, they were not inactive, but they are running at a very slow pace. They only take the high urgency matters. So September has started. The courts are at full speed again. So right now is the time to take action. Action that will be taken in the course of these 2 weeks. And as soon as they are started, we will report about the actions being taken through the website. And with every important step that will be taken in this file, we will, of course, report through the channels that are available for us. It's not easy to just set up an email chain with 18,000 people, because firstly, it's quite a burden to organize it. Secondly, if everybody starts replying and so on, it's just impossible to work with. So we have to find other means to communicate. It's not, well, it's not how we usually do it. I already said so. Normally, we just have a face-to-face meeting with our client. We phone, we email, and so on. But exceptional cases need exceptional solutions, which is communicating through the website and with announcements. So you are informed. If you have specific questions, you can return questions through the same channels. And from time to time, we will answer all those questions as well. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but that's more or less where we stand today in the actions that we have taken and the actions that will be taken in the next few days and weeks.
I think we were very lucky to have you here in our meeting, so that everyone can also make knows who is working at the case and for the case, and now also who is working with the website or for the website. And this is very important because we are working in close contacts, and only the facts and the news given by our lawyer are published on the website. So take a look very often to the website, because things will be changing now much faster than during the 3 last months we have been waiting, because it was a summer and holiday period of the legal system in Belgium. And for some people, it was very difficult to understand that it takes so long time. But anyway, now you are all, I hope you have more confidence in the way we are working now. And if there are some questions still not answered, then please try to bundle them together, to give them to Prashant and Tony, and then we can discuss together and give you the answers to it. Or when we have no answer to the question, we take contact with Mr. Hans van der Waal. Anyway, I really want to thank you for the huge amount of people who are here in the Zoom, and also for the participations you were giving. And please don't stop, because it's very important that we can also go on and work all things out, because for some things we will have a much like the case against the Belgian state will take much longer. So I think it's this way that we want to talk about, and I thank you very much for being here together with us, and maybe in 1 month we will do again a meeting together with you.
Perfect. We'll leave the meeting now. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Have a good day, all.
Prashant, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much to arrange this special call, and I'm so happy because after a long time we have some official news with direct with lawyer, and definitely we are stick with Vijay and Mandy, and we are waiting for good news this month. Definitely, and the good news when I listen him very carefully, he tell me one thing in this call: he never get any wrong in Vijay. What people are doing and what people are talking behind the platform in newspaper, because he is a lawyer and he is a local lawyer in Belgium, and lawyers think as a case and we are things as emotions. Then definitely he fight with a legal way, and we stand with him, and we believe Vitae is going to open very soon. And guys, I request you, we have a worldwide leader over there, and today we are completed our two languages, Dutch and English, and you guys just organize your Zoom meeting with small groups in your personal group and your personal languages. Then you can explain your people very easy way. And very soon, if we have any new updates, definitely our lawyers coming in front of you, and he explained our actions, how we work, and day and night he work. 18,000 people send him the details, and the big thing is 18,000 people send him detail, and he copy everything is like bunch of the paper, and he submit now his government and advocate also. Thank you so much, Karim. Thank you so much, Lars, and thank you so much, VJ family.
Thanks to you, and to be always here together with us. It gives us a lot of support, and we will not. And we will not leave until it's open, because and until the website is open, because we are Vitae and we will win.